Okay, this is the nut gauge project for the ET3210 lab. So let's get started on it. First, there's a couple of dimensions. Well, all the dimensions for the nut gauge. So let's get started with step one. We're going to cut a piece of 1 inch diameter, 6 inches long. So let's go to the cutoff saw and do that. There's my 1 inch diameter. I'm going to lower the saw, lock it in. Get a 6 inch piece. Double check it. Close enough. Now we can go to the lathe, face it off and center drill it. Always remember to put your material back in the steel rack or the aluminum rack. Okay, I'll have a rough sawn piece of material. So I'm going to go to the lathe, chuck it up in a 3-jaw chuck. Use the right-handed cutting tool I sharpened and a number 3 center drill to face and center drill each end. So here we go. Let it stick out of your chuck about 1 inch or so. Now I want to set up my tool such that it's about a so that the tip is right on the center. Using my right-handed cutting tool holder. So I'm going to use my center drill. Put a little mark on the end so I can adjust my cutter height. So I'm going to do 436 RPM. And I'm just going to touch the center. Put a little mark on it. That looks close enough. Maybe a little bit higher. And the depth of our center drill should be about halfway. Always use a little cutting oil. About halfway up our center drill, halfway up the angle. We'll do the other end the same way. The other end. That's what we're looking for. We want to make it flat. We're eventually going to put it on the surface plate, describe the marks, the layout marks. For the features. Okay, we just finished step one. We faced it and center drilled it, the nut gauge blank. Okay, now step two, we have to turn it down to 15/16. So we're going to find a lathe dog that'll fit over the 1-inch diameter. Use a lathe that has a dead center in it and a live center in the tailstock. So we're going to machine a 1/16 off the diameter. Then we're going to flip it around and machine the 1-inch diameter off the other end while putting our lathe dog on the other end. And then we'll take it to the surface plate. So let's turn it down to 15/16 right now. Here we go. Now I'm at a lathe with a faceplate on it. On the lathe dog that the 1-inch diameter will go in. Okay, let's loosen the tailstock. Always be sure and tighten your tailstock. Alright, tighten it up a little bit more. There we go. So, Well, it looks like I'm going to have to change my tool holder from a right-handed to a left-handed. So I'll take my tool out, take my holder out, put a left-handed holder in there. Use the same tool, my right-handed tool. So, I sort of want my tool on center, on my spindle center line. So I'll use my dead center in my headstock, put it on center, maybe just slightly below. And when I say slightly below, probably maybe not even a 32nd or so. You never want it above center, so okay, that looks like it's above center. That's too far below right there. Get that a little bit higher. Let's try that. Okay. Okay, our part is 1 inch diameter. Verify that. And it's got to go to 15/16. 15/16 from 1 inch is a 16th. A 16th is 62.5 thousandths. So my first pass, I'm going to make about 50 thousandths and then measure it and then take the remainder off. I'll come over. I put my cross feed on 0, back up my compound, put my cross feed on 0, and I touch my tool with my compound. There it is. So then I go 50 thousandths on my cross feed. I'm going about, well, I'm going to go to 005, I'm going to go to 0065. I'm only taking off a 16th. Of an inch. That's pretty good feed rate. I'm just going far enough to not hit my leg dog. Turn it back, and I measure it. So I got to go to 937, and it's measuring about 947, 948. So I'll take about 11 off of it. So I might just go to, I'll just go 10 more. I'm already within tolerance, so. but I'm gonna try to get it as close as I can. But I know this pass should do it. About 940, so it measures about 940, 938, 940. So that's good. So I'm gonna flip it around, dog the other end. Go ahead and loosen that. I'm going to take 50 off of that. I should be able to go right back to my mark on my cross feed, the same number. And I'm going to measure it just in case. You can move it. About 950. I'll go about 10 more. This should do it. Then I'll take it to the surface plate after I put some layout fluid on it and make my marks. You don't want to measure any chips. So about 942. That's within 5 thousandths. That's good enough. All right, I'm going to put some layout fluid on it now. That's a surface plate.